Hello everyone, my name is Najibullah Zada. In this reflection, I want to discuss how I plan to apply Kevin Eikenberry's leadership philosophy in his now steps in my every work environment. Like the leadership competency I want to focus on is powerful communication, especially active listening and giving and receiving feedback. I choose communication because I believe it is one of the most important skills for an effective leaders. In my work, I communicate with different people, including clients, coworker, supervisor, and team members. Sometimes people have different opinion, expectation, or concerns. If I communicate clearly and listening carefully, I can better understand the situation, solve problem, and build a strong relationship. My position is that leadership development does not happen only by reading about leadership. It happens where we practice leadership behaviors consistently in real situations. This is one of the ideas I find valuable in Kevin Eikenberry's book, Remarkable Leadership. Eikenberry explains that leadership development is a continuous process and encourage leaders to focus on one competency at a time. He also provides now steps, which are practical actions that leaders can apply immediately. I like this approach because it turns leadership theory into daily practice. In this video, I will identify this citation with my voice by saying, according to Kevin Eikenberry in Remarkable Leadership, leadership development is a continuous process and leaders can improve by focusing on one competency at a time. In applying practical now space, for me that means I do not have to wait for a formal training or promotions to practical leadership. I can practice leadership in the position I have today through international communication. To apply this philosophy, my first now step will be to practice international listening every day. When someone comes to me with a questions, concerns, problem, I want to make sure that I listen before immediately giving my opinion or trying to solve the problem. For example, if a client is upset about my services or a coworker disagree with the decisions, I will allow that persons to explain the situations completely. Then I will ask questions to make sure I understand the problem correctly. I can say sometimes like, let me make sure I understand what you are saying and summarize the concerns before responding. I believe this these small actions can make a major difference. People want to know that their concerns are being heard. Listening can also help a leader avoid making decisions based on incomplete information. My second now step will be to ask for feedback regularly. For example, after working on an important project or handling a difficult situation, I can ask my supervisor or coworker, what did I do well and what could I improve next time? I will try not to see constructive feedback as a criticism. Instead, I will use it as an information that can help me improve. Research supports this approach. According to Dero in Williams' 2009 article in the Journal of Applied Psychology Development Work, workplace experience are more useful when people have access to feedback. In other words, simply experiencing challenges is not enough. Leaders also need opportunities to learn from those experiences through feedbacks. The research contends strongly with Eikenberry's philosophy: if take action but never evaluate the result, I may continue reporting the same behavior. However, if take a small leadership actions, receive feedback reflecting on and make an adjustment, I can continue improving over time. My third now step will be to create on a small and measurable communication goal each week instead of saying I want to become a better communicator. I will make the goal more specific. For example, one week my goal might be to ask at least one clarifying questions during every important conversations. Another week my goal might be to provide positive and constructive feedback to at least two team members. This approach is also supported by research according to Edwin Locke and Gary Leitman's 2002 article in American Psychologist. Specific goals help direct attention's efforts and motivation. This tells me that leadership development become more effective when I identify a specific behavior that I want to improve instead of using a general goal such as a be better leaders at the end of each week. I will take a few minutes to reflect on my progress. I will ask myself three simple questions. What did I do well? What communicate challenges did I experience? And what will do differently next week? I expect these now steps to improve my effectiveness with my team. Better communication is not only about speaking clearly, it is also about understanding other people, creating trust, and helping people feel comfortable sharing information. If team member knows that we'll listen to them, they may be more willing to communicate problem early instead of waiting until the problem becomes larger. This practice can also improve problem solving in the workplace. We sometimes feel pressure to respond quickly, but leaders require both actions and understanding. By listening first, asking good questions, receiving feedback, and setting improved goals, I can make more thoughtful decisions and other benefits according accountability when establish a weak leadership goal. I become responsible for my own development. I do not have to wait for a formal leadership training program or promotion. I can practice leadership in the position I have today. In conclusions, the main leadership competency I want to develop is powerful communications through actions, listening, and feedback. I plan to apply Eikenberry's now steps by listening internationally, asking for feedback, saying, setting on a specific communication goal each week, and reflecting on progress. Eikenberry course reading gave me the practical framework. Deru and Williams' research demonstrates the importance of experience and feedback in relationship development. In log and in led research shows why specific goal and support improvement. My goal is to become a perfect leader immediately. My goal is to become a little better through each interactions, each challenging and each opportunities to learn by taking small actions constantly. I believe I can become a more effective communicator, a strong team member, and ultimately a better leader. Thank you. This slide is for reference. If your professor asks for the sources, use these three references. During the video, make sure you identify citation with your voice by naming the authors in year. Thank you.